I was going to do Reaper today, but I said screw it! Let us begin with this video! Hello guys, and welcome to a new Overwatch Facts and Stats, and today we're going over the latest Bay in my life that is taking me over, and that is May. May is part of the defense role and has a health of 250. She has no passive, so let's go straight into her abilities. Let's go into her main weapon, which is her Endothermic Blaster. Her Endothermic Blaster is a beam-type weapon doing 45 damage per second and has a projectile speed of not just 20 meters per second, a maximum range of 10 meters, and an ammo capacity of 200. This basically works like this. You freeze people to a 70 damage, it freezes them in place, which allows you to do some nasty damage for not just yourself, but also your teammates, and also allows you to use its secondary fire, which is its Icicle. It basically has linear projectile, which goes from 75 maximum range to 22, has a fall-off distance from 26 meters up to 55 meters, travels around about 88 meters per second, and has a rate of fire of 1.8 shots per second. Basically, this allows you to do your main control damage. It is a projectile, so you're gonna have to lead your shots with this weapon, and it's quite a high skill gap with this. I find that usually leading the targets minimal is quite useful, but freezing a person first with your Endothermic Blaster is the main way of using this weapon. First ability is her Cryo Freeze. Basically what it does is you activate it and it puts you in a cryostasis state, meaning that you cannot be damaged or invulnerable. Now, during this invulnerability, you are invulnerable for 4 seconds, and you'll have 100, and you gain health as well, with 150 health being gained over your 4 seconds. This has a cooldown of 12 seconds, so it is a long cooldown. So you've got to be ready to use this once in a team fight, and be very vigilant that once you've used it, that's it. May's ultimate is Blizzard. Blizzard basically is an object in which you throw her little friend Snowball to the ground, in which he'll pop up and then will create an area that will slow and will freeze an opponent in place. This is basically a splash damage weapon that uses up to a maximum 97 damage, has an area effect of 8 meter radius, has a duration of 5 seconds, and also has a cast required charge of 1000 points. This is incredibly powerful, especially in the fact that if you couple it with other abilities, this will basically destroy enemies in their tracks, whether they are tanks and freezed in their place, or squishies for that matter, whether it's on an objective like a payload or a control point. Now, I'm going to give you some tips and strategies about how to turn May from a little cute person into an absolute demon. So, starting off is her skill cap. This hero is a very high skill cap in the fact that her secondary ability, her projectile, is very hard to hit. She's very situational in the fact that she's great at killing tanks, but her low DPS with her Icicle means that she can't quite kill them on their own. Now, there are certain tools and methods you can get around it. For example, some of the methods I use. For example, I'm a bit crazy and use May as a offensive off-meta cheese pick. Now, why do I do that? Well, think about this. Most people set up on defense, so let's take payload or let's take an assault map. They set up with these very setup types like Torbjorn, Bastion. You know, think about those sort of setup defenses. Well, you fire a May wall in front of them, they're useless. They have to now move, or they have to disrupt the turrets, or etc, etc. And this is where May comes into her own. This means that the entire enemy team is now split up into sections, and now they are much easier to kill. This is where I think May has her strengths. Now, this is just a little cheese pick that I like playing her, but she's absolutely fun when you're playing like that. To be honest, you don't have to worry too much about May. May itself is a very high skill cap, high utility in her own way. She's not very meta as it is at the moment, but in my opinion, she does have a place in Overwatch. And in my opinion, you just got to go and play with her, and also have a bit of fun with her. Now, do I think she's effective in the meta? No, I don't think she is. She's only really good against D.Va and Roadhog and those tanks, compared to she's a tank buster. And she's good at taking out pretty much any main tanks, but she's very, very vulnerable to squishy killers, especially people like McCree, Farah, and other ones that cannot be hit very easily and can do massive damage to her. Guys, before this review was interesting, go and drop a like below, and if you keep on loving it here, go and subscribe for more great videos like this one. Until the next time, guys, see ya.
Nice, that's a sick combo. It's great, great.